Okay, today we try to continue with the theory of the theory of operators on some Banach spaces, and we start with this theorem. This one theta we call it theorem the Fredholm theorem, alternative. This theorem is called is from Fredholm, what you call the Fredholm alternative. This theorem. So we suppose that let E be a Banach space. We take a Banach space and key of E, the space of compact operator on E. The space of compact operators on this Banach space. So for all T in this space here, this compact, this space of compute, for all T which is a compact operators, you have this result. Firstly, we can prove that the dimension of the kernel of I minus T is finite. This is your the first result. When T is just a compact operator on E. And the second result we have, that we can say that this map, that's right. We can say that R, the image of I minus T is closed. And this one is closed because it's equal to this one is equal to the kernel of I minus T. The adjoint to put the orthogonal of this one. So already the orthogonal of any set is already closed, this one. And the third condition is that if the kernel of this one minus T is equal to 0, is equivalent the fact that R of I minus T is equal to E. This also is also a good result to get this one. And the fourth result, the dimension of N minus I minus T is exactly the dimension of R of N minus the adjoint of this one. Okay, so you know when your E is a Banach space, you know that the T is just a compact operator on E. You have this one, the dimension of this one is finite. The image of I minus T is closed, and it's equal to the kernel, the orthogonal of the kernel of I minus T, the adjoint of T. Now the kernel of I minus T is exactly equal to 0. This one is equivalent, in fact that the image one is equal to E. And the dimension of this one is C21. Okay, for the proof, we can prove we can do the proof like exercise. You can prove it like the exercise. Very very simple to do. You cannot chercher pour to tell me. Okay. Now I'll give you another theorem. The last part of this chapter, which is called the spectrum of compact operators. We call it the spectrum of compact operators. The spectrum of compact operators. Now I'll give you some definition in before. Okay, let E be first of all be a Banach space. This one is E a Banach space. And we take T with an operator on E like this. Then you have this definition. You see that the resolver set denoted by this one row of T like this, rotated set of T, okay, put it of this operator by this one is defined by this row of T. It contains the number of this one such that the I T minus lambda I is bijective. This one, it's called this one the resolvent sector of T. It contains the real number such that the number lambda such that this one is bijective. And also the spectrum of T the spectrum of T also denoted by this one row of T like this is it is defined by it's just a complement of the resolver set is the complement ER of the resolver set, this one, of the resolver set, this one. That means that the spectrum of this one is the complement of this one, which is equal to just R minus rho of T. This comes with just the complement to this one. And also lambda is called the eigenvalue. Now I'm going to give you just the definition of what you use after. I'll give you lambda when lambda is an eigenvalue of an operator. Lambda R is an eigenvalue of T if just this one, the kernel of T minus lambda I is not equal to 0. This one, this is the big value. We can denote that the space of all eigenvalue will be denoted by Vp of T, and the space of all eigenvalue of your operator T, this one, or operator T. You can reproduce by this one, or sometimes you can see it by the SP of T. Just the space of all eigenvalue of your operator. Okay, and I'll give you just a remark concern this. Then this one VP of T is contained strictly and in the spectrum of T. It's contained strictly on the spectrum of T. That means that you can there exists lambda in R such that the kernel of T minus this one equal to 0, and the image of I of T minus lambda I is equal to E. This one they contain that now this lambda contained here, but it's not contained in here. This kind of lambda, if you are this one is the spectrum of this one, you have just a VP of T here, VP of T here. On that which I'm taking about gravity here, it's just something, it has something here. So this one is very greater than, it's strictly greater than VP of T. That is one. VP is contained strictly in this, what I'm going to say, what I'm telling you here. Okay? Okay, thank you. Now I'll give you a theorem. Which is very important for this kind of this theorem. So we suppose that let T a bundle operator of this bundle operator on E, then you can prove that the spectrum of T is contained in this interval minus the norm of T, but the norm of T like this one, and also this spectrum of T is compact. It's compact. This also really is contained in this interval, also is compact. This interval is also already bounded, is closed and bounded. So if you want to use the Borel-Lebesgue theorem, that means that this one is a compact. The compact in R is the interval which is bounded and closed, this one. So if we want to prove that sigma or T is compact, we have that this one is closed. It's closed in this interval, this one. So we are proving it as well. Okay, let us prove first of all that this one is contained here, and after we prove that it is closed. Okay, let us prove that sigma the proof. The spectrum of this one is contained in this one. Let us prove it. Yeah. So I will suppose that for all lambda here, this one lambda is here. So if you can also, if lambda is not here, is also not here. So for lambda, let lambda in R, such that lambda is not here, such that the absolute value is greater than the norm of T. That means that it's not here. That will prove that this one is not in the spectrum of T. Okay. That the lambda is not in a spectrum of T. This means that lambda in the resolvent of T. This one. Okay. Now, if you are this condition, you suppose that R is essentially this one. Not contained. You are proved not here. We just prove that we claim that the equation. The equation, this one, Tu lambda u equal to F for all F, which is in E, have a unique equation, right? Unique solution. Has a unique solution. Yeah, if you prove it, is all. We claim that this one have the unique solution. We can prove it is all. So we are going to prove it. Proving it, that means that we prove that T minus lambda R is bijective. That means that T minus lambda R is bijective. Is bijective. What we are going to prove is bijective. You put it for all F here. You have T minus lambda I here is a map from E into E. For all U, you have this one. the image of T U lambda equal U. We are going to prove that for all F here there exists, and we are going to say that for all F here there is a unique U on E such that you have Tu minus U is equal to F. What you are going to prove. If you prove it, it is all. You get me? If you prove it, it is all. Okay? Now, what you are going to prove now? Okay, let's go. We are saying that you prove that this equation have just only one equation. This one. Okay. You suppose that the solution of this one is like this. U is 1 over lambda like this. The over lambda of Tu minus F like this. This solution. And we try to use the theorem of fixed point. Try to use we try to use the theorem of fixed point to prove it. They prove the existence of U, which is unique. Such that you are this condition. Let's set SV equal to 1 over lambda of Tv minus F, this one. And for all V1, V2 in E, I try to compute the difference like this one. Compute the SV1 minus SV2, the dot of this one. This one, I'll compute it. And then from here, we can see this one. I don't know if you can see this part of the board. Yeah, which is okay. That's what. Okay, that's what. Okay. This one is exactly the norm of 1 over lambda of Tv1 minus F minus 1 over lambda of Tv2 minus F. We take the norm of this one, which is equal to the norm of 1 over lambda of T of V1 minus V2. This one is less than T is bounded operator, we said already. This one is less than lambda minus 1 T, like this. And the bounded V1 minus V2. And we say, well, this one is less than 1. Lambda minus 1 T. And no, it's less than 1. Then, from the theorem of fixed point you used already, there exists the UU in E such that SF of U is equal to U. This one, SF of U equal to U. That means that this one U is equal to 1 over lambda Tu minus F. There is U, unique U, such that this condition. So you just prove that this equation have a unique solution. Which is equal to U, this one. I'll just remind you what kind of theorem I use here, in terms of fixed point. Just to remind you this, we say that we use the term of fixed point, say that when you have a metric space, which is complete, a complete metric remainder. A complete metric space. Metric space like this. I don't know if you can read what I'm writing here. Okay, that's it's possible. Okay, metric space like this. And I put X above for X into X, this one. Such that X, the distance of SV1, SV2 is less than K, the distance of V1, V2, this one. If you are this one, then there exists U, which is unique, U in X, such that S for U equal to U, is what you later use there. This one is what our distance, because you have a non-vector space. This one is our distance. I put the SV1, S if equality here. We just prove by this one. This one is true. Why this one is true? Because we suppose say that lambda, we suppose that lambda absolute value is greater than the norm of t. You remember? Yeah. From here you have this one. If the absolute value of t is greater than the norm of t, you have this solution. So you have the coefficient here is less than b. So that this t, s is contracted. So you have this condition. Then there exists a unique point u such that this one. This point is unique such that you have s, so you have the solution. Then we have to prove that our map here is bijective. Right, so we can conclude that the map is bijective. Then t minus lambda I is bijective. That means that lambda is a limit of this one, of this one, so which is that means that which is this one. That means that lambda is not an element of our map if you have all the spectrum plots. So what we are going to prove. So I remind you, we prove that if this one is not contained on this, then you have this condition. This one is continue you have this one. What we are going to prove. Lambda is not contained. You have the problem. You are proving that this one in T is contained in the norm, this interval. If you don't know something, I want to, if you understand something, you want to prove this inclusion. Then we go to, if you have t which is not here, is not here. That's all. That if your lambda is not, you are proving that if lambda is not in this interval, then lambda also is not sigma of the not element of the spectrum of T. You are proof. What you do. Okay. Now let's prove now that the spectrum of T is compact. Now, let's prove that the spectrum of T is compact. This one is compact. You just prove that this one is closed. That means I prove that this one is closed. It's closed in this the interval. In this compact, in the compact set, minus t that is this compact set. Just put that is closed is all. Okay. So let us prove that this one is closed. Sigma of T is closed. That means that the resolvent of T is open. What you are going to prove. This one is open. So let lambda 0 element of the resolvent of T, this one, and lambda a real number which is closed to lambda 0. Lambda 0. Now we just prove that they also have this one. You just prove that then we will prove that we will prove that the lambda is the lambda is the element of the spectrum, the resolvent set of T, the element of T. This one. What is the meaning? What I'm going to prove? If I can explain it more for you, we are going to prove that this one is the spectrum of T is open. That means that the resolvent of T is equal to the interior. That means that for all T, lambda 0, which is the resolvent of T, there exists eta, such that the interval lambda 0 minus eta, lambda 0 plus eta, this one is contained to the row of T. We are going to prove that in the open set in R. We have just proved this one. How can I prove this one? And that means that what? So if you take lambda 0 here, so I take some lambda, which is lambda here, which is very close to lambda 0. So I take lambda, which is here, for all lambda in this interval, which is near in this interval. Now, I'll just put the lambda is also in this box. What I'm going to prove, if I prove it, is what to prove it that is here, that means that the T minus lambda of R is bijective all. It's false, that's all. This lambda is bijective, this is all. So how to, when I prove it, this one is bijective. So we prove that that means that there exists a unique E like this, such for this now, such that for all lambda close to lambda 0, you have this one, you have T minus lambda U to do here minus lambda U is equal to F for all F we take in E. Okay, let us see how can we prove it. Okay, let us see how can we prove it. Also, so we have T U minus lambda U is equal to this one, and you can also have T U minus lambda U minus lambda 0 U. I can put it the same. I can put minus will be the same. You can put plus man here. This one plus also lambda 0 will be the same. Then you have this one, V1, this V0 of this color. Okay. So from here, I can call it like this star. From star, we can say that you have T 2U minus lambda 0 U is equal to F of lambda 0 U is equal to this one. Let me see, Let me see something here. Lambda U here, it will be the same. You have this minus U, lambda 0, well, you have this kind of function. Okay. So T minus U, you have this one. Okay. So T U equal to F. You have F here. Lambda 0, 4 plus lambda 0 here. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. What can I say now? Yeah, it's okay. Then this one is equal to what test you have there? F plus lambda 0 u, and also plus let this lambda 0 u. Let me see which will be good for us to put lambda. Then we lambda somewhere. Okay, lambda 0 plus, yeah, this one. Okay, you are here. This one is here. So we have f plus lambda 0 and also plus this one. If we have put lambda u here, you treat that plus lambda u, something like that. Okay, from here. So you take this one plus minus 0. So instead of taking plus here, if I take minus here, it will be the same. Minus and minus here is better. So you have here this one, which is 2, minus, and f minus here, minus u here, and also when you put plus here, that's what is better. This one is better. This kind of that means that you have f minus lambda 0 minus lambda or this one. So f plus lambda minus lambda 0 like this, u plus u lambda 0 like this. Here you have t minus lambda 0 I. U it is here. Then u is t minus lambda 0 I, the inverse of the f plus lambda 0 u. You have this condition, this the inverse condition. Because this one exists because lambda 0 is the element of the resolved set. Is the element of t. So this one is bijective. The inverse exists. We have this control. Now we are going to use the same thing for like just now. With the effect of the theorem of fifth point to prove that this one exists and unique, and you exist and also unique this one. So let us prove this one. Let's set this one SV like this. SV is equal to t minus lambda 0 I minus 1 f plus lambda 0 v like this. You put it like this there. And you compute SV1 minus SV2. And you take the norm of this. The norm of this one. So if you compute it, you have as a t minus lambda 0 here minus 1, and also you have what you see there, the norm lambda 0 and what, and also the norm of v1 minus v2. If complete, you have exactly this kind of field, and this one is less than 1. Because you can take lambda very close to lambda 0. This one will be saying that this one might be less than 1. This one is less than 1. And you use the same theorem of fixed point to prove that there exists a unique element here. You say that you have this condition. Very simple. So our instrument that means that this one is bijective. Then lambda is contained in the reverse, contained in the set, what they call the resolved set of T. This is okay. Okay, thanks. Okay, the following theorem states like this. Say like this. The following theorem says that you take let T, you take T, which is a compact operator on E, and with here the dimension of E is infinite. This one. Then you have this But then you have for this condition, zero in the element of the spectrum of T, like this. And secondly, you have also the spectrum of T of this one minus 0 is equal to the spectrum of the space, the eigenvalue of T minus also the space of eigenvalue of P minus T also T. You have this condition where T here is compact operator in the infinite dimension. You can prove this one. The proof will be easier. For proof, you have proof that y0 is contained in an element of this one. You can prove this one. Suppose that suppose that 0 is not inside. Suppose is not 0 is not in this one. You suppose that 0 is not in this one. Then that means that 0 is here, is here. That means that 0 is here. If 0 is here, that means that T is bijective. T is bijective because T is like a T0I. This one, that T is bijective. If T is bijective, that means that the identity which is equal to T composed the T minus 1 also. This one is also compact. Is compact. The T is compact, the inverse is compact, this one is compact too. Then E is compact, this one. Then the unit ball in E is compact. Because the image by unit ball, this one is close, is a compact closure. All this, the ball is also closed. Then this one is compact. It is because it's compact. Then the dimension of E is necessarily finite. Prove it in one the previous theorem. This one those contradiction the fact that necessarily this one cannot be in the spectrum in the resolver set, and this one necessarily is here. Whatever. So this one is proof. The second one is also for the proof of two. Proof what we just consider. We consider that lambda here, which you consider not prove that for all lambda, which is the spectrum from here, and then lambda is this one. But because we know all that this one is contained in this. That what all lambda is also a eigenvalue of this prompt. It will be okay. So eigenvalue will be okay. So then if this one is here, suppose that this one is not here. Lambda is not in this set, which is not this set. That means that this one I T minus lambda I must be equal to 0. Then R of this one is necessarily equal to E. R for T minus lambda I is equal to E, and which is just each one is in contradiction before to because that lambda is here, which is very tough, very central to prove. Okay. Now the following theorem is they call the lemma for the proof for some theorem. I just give you the theorem and you come back for the proof of the theorem. the lemma says that the lemma states that you have this one. Let t be an element which is compact like this, which is a compact set like this, huh? And then and lambda, this one, a sequence of real number, huh? Distant number, like this, say that this one, say that lambda tend to lambda into and at infinity, this one, and all lambda n an element of the spectrum of t, which is not equal to 0. Then we put the lambda is necessarily equal to 0. Okay, we try to prove it later after. Okay, thank you.